Welcome to Online Arts with Project Success. Today, we are going to be watching some animated short films and exploring creativity and compassion in uncertain times.
A main theme from all of these videos is change of heart. In these short films, we feature characters who experience a change or a transformation in their attitude or opinion. As you watch each video, pay attention to how the characters change and what is it that causes them to change.
Two big questions to think about are, what changes when we let people see things from our perspective, and what changes when we see things from someone else's perspective?
Our first short film is called Joy and Heron. This tale features a battle between a lovable small dog named Joy and a pesky heron, a large fish-eating bird. What happens when they get to see what each of them wants? Pause this video and click the link to watch Joy and Heron, and then come back for some reflective questions. Welcome back. We have some questions that we are going to now answer. Ryan, as you were watching, what different perspectives did you notice?
I noticed that Joy was very protective of the fisherman's bait. I also noticed that the heron wanted to take the bait to its kids. Another big thing I noticed was that they didn't use any words to tell the story.
How do you think the characters felt?
Joy looked like they went through a lot of emotions: happiness, frustration, anger. It looked like there was also some sadness when they saw the baby birds. While I was watching, I felt surprised when they revealed that why the heron was taking the bait. And I felt happy at the end.
What did it remind you of?
This video reminded me of Finding Nemo, and it reminded me of my dog when I take him on walks and he sees other animals, and the way he acts around food. He gets very protective.
Do you have any questions?
I wonder, do these characters ever meet each other again? Like, is there more to their story?
One final question for you, Ryan. Speculate. How can a kind gesture leave a lasting impact on somebody that you encounter?
Well, in this video, Joy saw what the heron wanted and helped them to get it. That gesture kind of brought them closer together and allowed the heron to see what Joy needed and wanted.
Now, you watching at home, take a few minutes and think. How would you answer these questions? You may have same or different answers, and that's great. There are no wrong answers, and your perspective is important.
Our next video also features two characters with different perspectives. Head Over Heels is the story of Walter and Madge. Now, Walter and Madge have opposite perspectives on the world, literally. One lives on the floor and the other on the ceiling. How can they learn to put themselves in the other's shoes? Pause this video and click on the link to watch Head Over Heels. Then come back for some reflection questions. Welcome back. Again, we are going to answer some questions. Andy, as you were watching, what different perspectives did you notice?
I noticed that the two characters lived on opposite sides from each other, with one on the ceiling and one on the floor, and each of them thought the other one was upside down. They also kept referencing the painting, and the ballet slippers kept making an appearance.
How do you think the characters felt? How did you feel watching it?
They felt really irritated with one another, and they felt really frustrated by the situation. During one moment, it looked like there might be a possible resolution, but it didn't seem to last very long.
Did it remind you of anything?
The setting of a house in the sky reminds me of the movie Up, but the video also reminds me about how difficult it can be to have daily routines shaken and challenged, and the emotions that I feel when this happens to me.
What questions do you have?
I'm curious what happens at the end of the short film. Like, do they continue living together? And if so, how? Do they choose to live on the ceiling, or do they go back and forth where they live to make the other person feel comfortable?
And one last question, Andy. Speculate. How can you resolve conflict by changing your point of view?
In this film, the characters grew together when they were able to flip their points of view, but that doesn't really mean it wasn't challenging or that they didn't make mistakes. It does show that when we meet someone where they are, we have an opportunity for better communication and maybe even a better relationship.
Now, everyone at home, take a few minutes and think. How would you answer these questions? You may have the same or you may have different answers, and that's great. Just like in the video, we can look at the same thing and see it from opposite directions.
Now it is your turn. There are 2 more short films for you to watch. The first is called Hair Love, and it features a daughter and a father. Despite having long locks, Steven has often been used to having his wife doing his daughter's hair, so when she is unavailable right before a big event, Steven will have to figure it out on his own. This sounds simple enough, but we will soon come to find out that Zuri's hair has a mind of its own.
In the second film, Ian, our main character Ian was born with cerebral palsy. All he wants is to make friends, although it seems impossible to achieve when discrimination and bullying keep him away from his beloved playground. However, this young boy is determined and will not give up easily. Pause this video. Go watch both Hair Love and Ian, and then come back here for some reflection questions. Welcome back. Take some time and think about your answers to the following questions. What perspectives did you notice?
How do you think the characters felt, and how did you feel?
What did it remind you of?
What questions do you have?
And speculate. How does nonverbal communication, things like body language, facial expressions, or hairstyle, help you communicate your perspective?
Similarly, where do you use nonverbal communication in your daily life? Thank you again for tuning in to Online Arts with Project Success.
Please join us in some other virtual adventures, including Nature Bingo, original podcasts, and hearing more about what college life looks and feels like from students themselves. We hope to see you very soon.